Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today we will be making Haitian black bean sauce with coconut milk. Sos Pwa noir avec Kokoye. Stay tuned and see how it's done. Let's get right into it. So of course you're going to need some beans. This is the black beans that I will be using, and I'm going to use 1 cup and a half cup of beans. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to check my beans to see if there's any rocks in there, any beans that look a little raunchy, that don't look right, look like something wrong with them. I'm gonna just pass my hands through there and check the beans to make sure, you know, everything is okay with the beans. Okay, because sometime in that little package they do be having some rocks and stuff in them. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean my beans. You see how I'm putting it in my hand, I'm scrubbing them with my hands like scrub a rubber dub, like that. That's what we're gonna do. Then we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna rinse out the water. We're gonna take it out, then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wash it again. We're gonna wash it again to make sure we get any dirt that's in there, dirt particles, anything. Put it in your hand and scrub a rubber rub. You see how I'm scrub them things. Okay, make sure they are thoroughly cleaned. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to wash them that second time. We're going to rinse it off, and then we're going to wash it one final time, you know, just to be safe. All right. When we're done washing it, we're going to go ahead and add some water. So I'm going to add 56 ounces of water. That's about 7 cups of water. Okay, you guys. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 48 ounces of water, and that's about 6 cups of water. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 2 garlic cubes in there, garlic cloves in there. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and put about a tablespoon of oil. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this on my stove and just let it sit overnight. You don't have to do this, but when you do that, the next day it's easier for your beans to boil. They cook faster. Okay, so if you know you're gonna be making this the next day, that's the best thing for you to do. But you can also just get up and do this all on the same day. It's not like something you have to do. Okay, but if you want to do it, you could. I chose to do it so I could save a little bit of time. All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let it boil for approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes. I will have the exact time and stuff for you in the description box below. Okay, all right, so here I am, I'm checking my beans to make sure that they're cooked. You see, once I'm able to squish them like that, they're cooked. If you squish them and they're still hard, they don't just break up, then you need to let it cook a little longer. All right, so now that my beans are done cooking, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them inside my blender Tyrone. Okay, we're going to go ahead, we're going to put them inside Tyrone, and we're going to blend those beans. We're going to blend them. We're not even going to blend them. We're going to puree them. Okay, we're going to puree them. Okay, they're going to be silky like we're making a smoothie. Okay, if you want to, some people choose to leave some out, like don't put all the beans in a blender to have some beans in the actual sauce. That's optional if you want to do that, but I didn't want to do that, so I ain't do it. All right, so here I have my strainer, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to strain the bean sauce. So I'm basically put the bean sauce in the strainer, and as you see I'm doing with my spoon, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep doing that until the juice and the pulp separate. Okay, and Creole we call that the strainer a passoire. Okay, we're going to just put it in there, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to pass our spoon through there until the pulp and the juice separate, and we keep the juice and we're going to throw away the pulp. Okay, then when I'm done doing, we're going to continue to do this until we use all of our bean sauce. Okay, then we're going to go ahead, we're going to add 2 cups of water, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to strain that 2 cups of water so we could take all that bean sauce from the pulp. So when we're done doing this, what's left is the pulp of the beans, and we don't need that. That's disposable. We don't need that. We're going to go ahead, we're going to dispose that, and we're going to throw it into the trash. But before I do that, we're going to make sure we squeeze it and we get all the juices from it, because it's going to help our Sos Pwa taste magnificent. Okay, all right, but when we're done doing that, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take that pulp and we're going to dispose of it. Now we're going to start adding things to make our Sos Pwa taste magnificent. The first thing we're going to do is add some thyme and parsley tied up together. Then we're going to go ahead, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. After we add our 2 tablespoons of butter, we're going to add 1 cube of chicken flavored bouillon. Us Haitians call it Maggie. We're going to put that Maggie in there. If you don't like to use Maggie, you can use adobo. You can substitute it for adobo. Then we're going to go ahead. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of onion powder. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, okay? We want to use this because it's going to make our food taste magnificent, okay? Then we're going to go ahead. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of adobo as well. And remember that garlic powder, onion powder, that's for flavor. That's not salt-based seasoning. So you're not adding salt when you add those kind of things. You're just adding flavor, all right? So then we have our hot Jamaican bell peppers. Then we have our black cloves, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to add some épices in there, but we're going to take our pima, which is the hot pepper, and we're going to poke it with the garlic cloves. We're going to poke it with the garlic cloves, and then we're going to drop it into there. The reason for this is because if you ever taste one of those, it's not even garlic cloves, they're called black pepper cloves. If you ever taste one of them in your food, it tastes real nasty. So when you poke it in the hot pepper, it don't spread everywhere. So when you get your food, you won't find pieces of it, or you won't find it in your food. It's gonna give the food flavor, but it's not gonna be in your food, okay? Because if you ever taste jiof before in your food, then you know what I'm talking about, because that's what it's called in Creole. It's called a jiof, and don't nobody want that business, okay? All right, then we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna add our coconut milk. You could go ahead and add that whole entire 1 can of coconut milk into there, okay? That coconut is gonna make it creamy. It's gonna make it delicious, and it's gonna make it all that and a bag of potato chips. All right. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna add that. We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna let the flavors get in there. Then we're going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of salt. When you first taste it, you guys, I know I added all this stuff, but when you first taste it and it's like this, it's still watery, you're not going to taste, it's not going to taste good at this moment. It's going to taste like, I should add more salt. I should add more seasoning, but don't do that, because the trick with Sos Pwa is when you first taste it, it's not going to taste like nothing, but it's going to thicken up. And as it thickens up, you're going to start to taste your seasonings more. So if you taste it while it was watery and you added more seasoning because you felt like it didn't have enough, by the time it get thick, it's going to start getting salty. It's going to start getting saltier and saltier the thicker it gets. So that's why when you taste it at first, you're going to be like, it need a little more seasoning. No, it don't, baby. Let it thicken up first. Let it become who it's supposed to be first. Let it do its thing first. Let it work out its magic before you go ahead and add more seasoning. And as I always tell y'all, make sure you taste your food. Don't put the spoon in your mouth, because that's nasty. Okay? Make sure you put it in your hand and you taste the food. Or if you do put the spoon in your mouth, make sure you wash the spoon afterwards. So I went ahead and I added 1/4 teaspoon of adobo seasoning, because I felt like it need a little bit more seasoning. Remember, it is always better to have your food not have enough flavor than for your food to be salty, because you can always add flavor later. But if you mess around and put too much salt, you don't messed it up. Ain't no coming back from that. All right. So as it get thicker, you're gonna taste it, and I'm telling you, the flavors will be there. Trust the process. Trust me, boo boo. I got you. And you see how thick this look? You're gonna let it cook for about an hour, and it's gonna start to look thick like this. Thicker than a Snicker. Yes, child. Ooh, yes. And when you see it thick like this, go ahead and turn the heat off. Because the trick about Sos Pwa too is when you turn it off, it's going to get a little bit thicker. So if you let it get too thick and then you turn it off, it's going to be super thick. It's going to be too thick. Okay? All right. And there you have it. Sos Pwa NOIR avec lait Kokoye. Haitian black bean sauce with coconut milk. And baby, this right here, you eat this with some rice, white rice. And baby, that's God's gift to earth right there. Ain't no beating that. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Bye.